Have you ever come across a figure in history who's famous for being, well, two totally different people? Today, we're diving into one of the most dramatic transformations ever recorded. It's the story of a man who lived two lives under two names with two completely opposite missions.
I mean, think about it. On one hand, you have Saul of Tarsus. His whole life's mission was to hunt down and destroy the followers of a new faith. On the other hand, you have Paul the Apostle, whose life's work was to spread that exact same faith all across the known world. One man, two identities that could not possibly be more different.
So that's the big question, right? How does a man do a complete 180 and become his own opposite? To figure that out, we have to go back to the very beginning. Because before there was the apostle, there was the persecutor.
To really get Paul the Apostle, we first have to meet the man he used to be, the zealous and, frankly, the feared persecutor, Saul of Tarsus.
It is so important to understand that Saul wasn't just some random thug. This guy was a man of status, of intellect. He was a Roman citizen, which came with legal protections. He was a skilled tent maker, so he had a trade. But here's the kicker. He was a trained Pharisee. We're talking expert level in Jewish law. This means his opposition to the new Christian faith wasn't born out of ignorance. Oh no, it was a deeply held scholarly conviction. In his mind, he was the good guy defending tradition from a dangerous heresy.
And that conviction wasn't just talk. It fueled a pretty terrifying mission. He wasn't skeptical of the early Christians. He was actively trying to eliminate them. His goal was to arrest them, to even have them killed, all because he truly believed he was defending his faith.
Saul was so all in on this mission that he set out for the city of Damascus to continue his purge. But something happened on that journey, a single moment that would not only change him, but would also change the course of history itself.
This is where the whole story just flips on its head. According to the account, Saul has a direct personal vision of the very person whose followers he was hunting. Can you even imagine the shock? This isn't a slow change of heart or some philosophical debate. It's a sudden, blinding event that completely shatters his reality.
And the transformation was swift and total. That vision led directly to his baptism, fully converting him to the faith he once tried to destroy. And just like that, his old mission was wiped away and an entirely new, opposite one took its place.
And so, Saul of Tarsus is gone. In his place rises a man with a new name, Paul, and a brand new purpose. He becomes the very thing he once hated, an apostle.
And his new mission was absolutely vast. He traveled tirelessly all over the Mediterranean, starting Christian communities in major cities like Rome, Corinth, and Ephesus. Instead of arresting believers, he was creating them, writing letters of guidance and encouragement. And, this is so crucial, he championed the radical idea that this message wasn't just for Jews, but for everyone, the Gentiles. This concept blew the doors wide open for the faith's expansion.
And the impact of those letters was just monumental. They were preserved, copied, passed around, and eventually they formed a huge portion of what we now know as the Christian New Testament. In just an incredible twist of history, the persecutor became one of the most foundational authors of the faith he once tried to stamp out.
But this new life was not an easy one. In becoming a champion for Christianity, Paul made powerful enemies, just as he himself had once been. This final chapter of his life would be defined by opposition and sacrifice.
It's almost like his past came back to haunt him in a way. Just as he had arrested Christians, he was now frequently arrested by opponents of the church. His journey ended in Rome, where he was imprisoned and ultimately executed during the reign of Emperor Nero, paying the ultimate price for his new beliefs.
So this brings us to a really powerful piece of symbolism. If you ever see a depiction of St. Paul, he is often holding a sword. Now, it's easy to mistake that for a symbol of his past as a persecutor, but it's not. That sword represents his end, his martyrdom by decapitation, the method of execution that was reserved for Roman citizens like him. It's a symbol of his final sacrifice, not his former aggression.
So we come back to where we started. The story of Saul becoming Paul is a dramatic, unbelievable tale of personal transformation. But it also leaves us with this larger question to think about. What makes a single moment of change in a single person's life powerful enough to redirect the entire course of history itself?